Good morning, travelers. Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot. Make sure I got the right glasses on. Okay. And I am coming to you today with an open reading. I think this will be the third open reading for the month of November. Why does my calendar still say October? So I guess this is November 3rd. I'm not exactly sure. And I woke up this morning and took one look at my bed when I woke up. And it is filled with books and cards and runes and Aichi coins and astrology charts. And I'm thinking there is something wrong with this picture. So Neptune is going to be waking up here pretty soon. It's probably already starting to have a few stirrings, and it's going to be stationing direct or coming into direct motion on November 19th. I have Neptune transiting my sector of true love and romance until 2024, and I'm hoping, Jesus, I hope something happens before I kick the bucket. I don't know if I'm going to make it to 2024. So anyway, I just feel there's an odd kind of an energy that like there's something going on under the surface, something being moved, something being worked out. In some way, shape, or form. Doesn't necessarily mean in the romantic sphere, but I just feel that there's something afoot. Let me put it that way. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to you. I'm going to do two spreads today. I have all of these decks out, and I wasn't exactly sure which one of these I wanted to use. I'm going to start with I'm going to bring you two spreads, and I'm going to start with the Radiant White deck. And I'm being led to bring out the Casanovas. I know many of you love the Casanovas, and I don't use them a lot. Casanovas kind of one of those decks that, you don't hear from him for a while, and all of a sudden he calls your name, or he calls you out of the blue. That's Casanova. Aptly and fitting. The Mukhai Tarot has been stuck on a story for the past week. I don't understand what the story is that the Mukhai is trying to tell me, so I'm going to give that deck a rest. I have with me the Sibilas, and I also have the, what do you call these? The Neapolitans. I have not used these in a while, and I haven't really felt a need to, so to speak. You just never know. And then, of course, I have the Angel Answer card. So we're going to do 30 minutes, and I have my little timer set here. We're going to do 30 minutes with the Radiant White, and then we're going to do 30 minutes with the Casanova. I hope that many of you had an opportunity to view my little video that I posted yesterday about DIY spiritual hygiene. It's just a great little way to kind of be proactive in trying to make changes or gain clarity in your life. Simple things. So I hope that some of you took some notes and that you will, try some of those things out. I mean, what the hell? What do you got to lose? A few bucks here and there. So let's get started. I've done some meditation. I've cleared my energies. I've been shuffling the cards. This will be a 9-card spread. This is a general reading. It will not resonate with everyone. I will try to make the interpretations as broadly as I can in order to perhaps bring messages to more people, those who may need some message or some guidance, some advice, a little bit of comfort. It will apply whether you are same-sex, heterosexual. I'm trying to look into the cards now to see about messages for people who are retired. I think a lot of tarot readers do not kind of look at people who are retired. We look at working people, single people, married people, So I'm trying to figure out a way to connect with the deck in that way so that it can bring me messages also for people who are retired or are moving into retirement phase. That can be a challenging time in more ways than one. And so we're just going to see what the cards have to say. Now, as you can see, the 6 of Wands has presented itself here. So let's get started. This is for no specific time frame. I want to welcome all my new subscribers. I want to thank the subscribers that have stuck with me thus far. And I really appreciate those of you who have been sending me updates, that have had, readings with me, personal readings with me, and who have sent me updates on their situations. One person, I think last week, she emailed me, and it's been months since I read for her, and her stuff is kind of finally coming in. So that's why I say, there is no timing really in the tarot. We try to give people that, but it's really kind of up in the air. Why? Because it's really all about divine timing. Some things we can pinpoint rather accurately. Other things, you know, it's the wheel. It's the wheel. So let's go ahead and lay 8 more cards and see what the Radiant White has to speak with us about today. Well, there's a damn Neptune. Well, 8 of Swords is our overall energy. Okie doke. Give me a minute and let me take a look at this. This is a quite, and I'm sure you tarot, y'all get so sick of hearing us tarot card readers go, oh, it's such an interesting spread. But, it's the cards are the same cards, no matter which deck you use. But they never really kind of tell the same story twice, or they tell the same story twice, but they tell it in different ways so that there's different nuances to it. And that is what I find to be so interesting. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 major arcanas, and this is all in the future row, and I have 2 in the future column. And 4 out of 5 ain't so bad. I mean, sorry, 4 out of 9 ain't so bad. Now, for certain, what I'm looking at is the Neptune transit. We also have a Uranus and Aries, Aries in Uranus, or Uranus and Aries transit going on. And Uranus is all about fire. I'm sorry, Aries is ruled by Mars, and it's all about fire, drive, and passion. This could bring up anger. The Uranus is things happening suddenly and kind of out of the blue. Oddly enough, this card represents both Uranus and Mars. So there could be some blow-ups coming, some fights, some misunderstandings, some harsh words spoken. I do have this 10 of Swords here with this 8 of Swords. But also, I have the card of Libra here, the Justice card. Okay, balance. And maybe this is the energy that I'm picking up on rather subtly. What I'm looking at, I feel that there will be a record number of breakups and divorces, separations, but also there are going to be a record number of meeting new people, taking things to the next level, and even marriages coming up. Now, this just is not about, per se, the romantic sphere. I think what is being called up is just simply relationships. Am I being paid enough at the job where I work? Are my skills being are they being appreciated? Am I being shown the respect that perhaps my position, or are people dumping things on me? What is the relationship between some of my friendships? Is it time for me to move away from those and branch out and find other people now? If my views are changing, I need to go out and find someone else, another group of people who share my interest, and I can get a chance to learn more. Um, children, children coming into the world, children leaving the nest, they themselves perhaps getting married or perhaps getting divorced, the relationship that you have with your children, your in-laws, your nephews, your so this is really a reset, surrounding all kinds of relationships. But this spread in particular, to me, um, is speaking about, firstly, the relationship that one has with oneself, because that's, you are always a common denominator in the relationship. No matter what relationship it is, you're like, you know, one of the common denominators. So firstly, it is about the relationship of self, but it's also speaking to, looks most definitely like a romantic situation here. And that's why I'm going to be bringing up two decks. Doesn't look like it wants to talk to me a whole lot about work. I do have the two wands up here, but they don't read like, um, I could say, because there are no coins here. And so this doesn't read like a work situation. I could kind of morph it into that, but eh. And what I'm seeing is that, let's see, I have, I don't have any repeater cards. And I find that to be interesting as well. And these three major arcana here are speaking to me about being midway through a journey. Just the numbers, 11, 12, and then 16. And that's a 7. It ends in a 7. With the 11, would be 10, a 1. Okay, this is definitely change. This is our most important energy leaving the spread. So what I'm looking at here is, I have, the cards are 6 of Wands, Queen of Cups, Knight of Wands, 10 of Swords, 2 of Cups, and the Justice card. The Hanged Man, the Magician, and the Tower. I used to, when I first started reading cards, the Tower used to freak me out. But now when I see the card, I have come to understand its energy so much more, and it's a very impressive card. It is a very powerful card to see, really, in any reading. And what I'm looking at here, okay, past, present, future, and then the interplay. Right in the center, I have the 2 of Cups. So this speaks to me about balance in a relationship. Again, not only balance with other people in your one-to-one relationships. This could be a business relationship, a work relationship, but also the relationship that you have with yourself. This card in this instance speaks to me about appreciating all the different forms of love that you have in your life. Okay, some of those areas may be lacking, but still you have some things to be appreciative for. That's the first thing. Okay, and that is our focus. So I can see for some of you, and again, this was not going to resonate, I can see that something, you've just kind of accomplished something. The 6 of Wands, and this speaks to some kind of victory. You come through the 5, and the 5 means that there's been lots of changes. Okay, there's been perhaps things that have been completely out of your control. Maybe you've been spending more time working, you didn't have time to devote to your family or your spouse or your mate, even your pet. So there's been some changes. The Wands kind of speaks to me that you've moved through this energy. It's kind of like you got your footing back. Your drive is coming back. This represents Jupiter in Leo. This represents Leo. So some of you might be dealing with the fire sign. Some of you may be dealing with an earth sign. We do have air. Lots of fire here. Lots of fire. And there's some water. Water. Air. Fire. And so for some of you, it looks as though, you maybe you've got some plans. You've accomplished something and you've got some plans, and then you meet this energy of this Queen of Cups here, kind of head on. And the way it reads with this Knight of Wands is sort of like perhaps maybe this person just kind of showed up out of the blue. Okay. I'm not necessarily reading that it is someone from your past, although it could be. Okay, very well could be. And the reason why I say this is because I have this Ten of Swords here. So this could be someone coming back from your past, kind of at a time when you're maybe focused on other things. You weren't looking for the person to come back, and they have arrived. Okay. And if this is the case, they've arrived because in one respect, it's something emotional. However, I don't feel as though it is really based upon them wanting to get back together. And again, that's why we could have this 10. It could be that the person is in need of something. Okay. But then right down the center, I feel that if this is someone new that you've encountered, okay, this indeed is something that's kind of rocked you back on your heels. So it's kind of speaking to two things in the same vein. Here, the Six of Wands over to the Justice, and then the Hanged Man. Okay, I've accomplished that thing. Now I've kind of got, my ducks in a row. Okay, but yet I'm still waiting because something is not clear. There's something that I'm missing. There's something that I need. There's something I have to get in touch with. So I'm going to suspend anything, my judgment or my belief system or the way that I think. I'm going to kind of hold that in place until something comes to me, some kind of message, some kind of sign, some kind of signal. Now, the thing about Neptune is all about the higher octave of love, okay? So this is having a universal love. This could be about wanting to find that person that you not only blend with on a physical level, but the mental level, the spiritual level. This is somebody you want to meld into, okay? You really want to have that kind of connection. It speaks to a highly, highly spiritual connection. But then the negative side of Neptune can mean that this is an ideal that you hold so high that it's really unrealistic in one respect. And so it can cause you to either get in relationships that you end up becoming disillusioned, but then one that may have the potential of what you're looking for, you kind of shy away from it because you're not sure if what it is real or not. And this is a very difficult thing because I can see here that we moved away on a victory, but somehow or another, we were maybe disillusioned or disappointed. And we're at a point where we're saying, you know what, I'm not even going to bother anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and do whatever it is I need to do. And I'm going to suspend this. I'm going to put this in suspended animation. And in a sense, that may be how you're feeling, some of you. But what's interesting to me is we can see here. So if this is someone that has returned, we can say that in the past there was a lot of hurts and a lot of things under the bridge. So maybe this card is calling for that to be healed. The Justice card. You see, it had to go like that. Okay, so it's not necessarily that you're supposed to get back with this person. It's just that maybe the relationship ran out of road, but what the person is coming back for, and hopefully you don't get it twisted, You don't get disillusioned, or you don't get snafu'd into going back into a situation that really is not supposed to be anymore. The person is coming back to, I think, in one respect, heal the karma, heal the rift. So this could be, someone, you having to say to someone, what we had was great, but it's too much water under the bridge now, and I can't go back, and I hope you forgive me for anything that I did trespassed against you, because I forgive you for those things that you did against me. And then it's time to move on. But for those of you who have met someone new, this comes after a time of feeling as though you're never going to get, this card sometimes can read as the victim mentality card. Oh, woe is me. You see, you have an opportunity here to get that kind of relationship that you really want. Okay, why? Because Justice says that it's time. Okay, now there may be a hold on that for a second. And to me, this Magician card speaks to two things. It speaks to maybe you not even realizing that you have manifested up this person. Even if this is somebody who's come back, maybe you've been thinking about that person, lamenting, maybe if I get a second chance, and you literally manifested them up to come back. So for some of you, this is somebody from the past comes back, but you're really not meant to be together. For others of you, this is somebody who has come into your life after a time where you really have just kind of given up on love because you've manifested them up. Okay. That reads like, yeah, like, and to me, it speaks to the universe working things out for you in some way, shape, or form. The trick is to be able to understand which is which, and that's the key. That's why we have this. Okay, it's like, I don't know. And if you don't know, it's okay to say, I don't know. It's better to be honest in that manner than to pretend or portray or to withhold or to speak around. Justice is about the truth, is it not? I think for some of you, this line here, if this is the return of someone, you're going to find out quite quickly that it's not what it's supposed to be. Okay. You're going to find out, the truth this time, and maybe that's what it's going to take. The number 2 sits in the center, second time. Here I can see that for some of you, if you've been putting in the work to find someone, this could either go, again, two ways. You end up finding out that the person, that relationship is not what you thought it was, but it can also speak to you suddenly being victorious in finding exactly the person that you want. Okay? Out of the blue. You see, this speaks to confusion and not being quite clear on what it is and trying to get clear. Well, here's the Tower that says, I'm here to clear the air for you. I want you to come down off of this cross here. Okay? I'm working some things out for you. You've put the call out to me. You've put the call out to me. And I'm here to work some things out for you. Now, what happens sometimes when people from your past come back, it's a test. It is the universe testing you to see if you really have learned the lessons and if you really are ready for that thing that you say that you want. You see, sometimes we say that we want something. Okay, we believe it wholeheartedly. We pray for it, but somehow deep down inside, we still have fear of it. So I feel that this is a situation in which we are being challenged to first, trust that the universe knows better than you. Here, be open. And for others of you who are waiting, you will be meeting someone. You will. It's just that we don't know the timing. This is the way the cards would look. For some of you, it even, to me, right now, is speaking to that you've already met that person. You just don't see that yet. Okay? Maybe you bumped into this person. Maybe the person came in quite briefly and quite suddenly, and then they left. Okay? And so that has left you in a space of wondering, well, does a person really like me? I don't understand what just happened. I feel like I've been run over, because really this night, this energy of this night can just run you down. You feel like you maybe been hit by a truck and you don't know what just happened. You're left picking yourself up out of the dust, brushing, going, what the hell just happened? That is also the energy of the Tower. Indeed, for some of you, someone's going to come in, and I do feel this is someone from the past, and it's going to, if you enter into it, it is going to not work out in your favor. Male, female, same sex, heterosexual. Some of you are still kind of waiting around for the answer. Some of you have met the person already. This reads two ways. The one who's returning, you're going to find out really that you should have left him in the past. But in a way, it also reads like the new one coming is going to knock your socks off. Okay. So let's pull some cards and see. And this Eight of Swords is, for some of you, not having the clarity that you need, and feeling that maybe someone is responsible for you not understanding what the hell is going on. Some of you have been hoodwinked, will be hoodwinked, and others of you are blinded to the fact that you're hoodwinking yourselves. This is quite an interesting spread. That's that energy of Neptune. But I do feel that this is, see, the Magician, this is things moving things. This is new energy coming in. This is, to me, speaks to Neptune waking up. And when he comes and he gets into his full power, boy, things are going to be happening here. So, and in a sense, this card reads like, you're really going to, in a sense, have to take the blinders off and be willing to step out of your comfort zone for some of you. Not wanting to see the truth of a situation and feeling as though you can't get away. For others of you, you need to ask yourself why you feel the way that you do. Why do you feel you can't see the truth? You don't feel the truth. You can't move. For others of you, basically, to me, it's about recognizing that in order to navigate through this energy, you're going to have to come outside of your comfort zone. In other words, for those of you who know you need to get rid of somebody in the past that has really not been good for you, you need to do that. For those of you who have met someone and you're not sure about that person, be open. Don't limit yourself in whatever the possibilities can, because really this to me can speak to negative self-talk as well. Being enclosed in your own thoughts. Let's take a look at what this Ten of Swords is telling me. Right. In one respect, this is someone who has perhaps has offered something or put in a lot of work trying to bring about something positive in their home life. They've offered a whole lot. They felt that they had finally gotten exactly the life that they wanted. Okay, the home life that they wanted, the happiness that they wanted, they've achieved. Remember I was talking about this. They've achieved all of these things. But then they find out really that those things that they achieved kind of backfired on them. And in a sense, it kind of reads like this is a reevaluation of the values. And maybe this is why Neptune, the Hangman, has come. It's about the higher love. It's not about those, and maybe that's why there are no coins here. It's not about those intrinsic material things. This is a spiritual quest, but the spiritual quest is going to come through a relationship or another person. And no matter what the situation is, it really reads to me like, because it sits in the center, that there is a second chance for love, or for that type of relationship that you've been looking for. And maybe the transit of Neptune is going to bring this about for you in whatever way that you're waiting on it. Okay. It definitely speaks to, I have the horses, you know, I have the magician, I have the tower. It really speaks to movement, some kind of movement, something coming, something happening. This could just simply be, it's a shift in energy, is what it is. The tower. Look at the tower on top of the tower. Look at that. And remember I said the first thing, this is somebody coming back from your past. It's not going to go the way that you think it is. And in one respect, that's why that Eight of Swords, you didn't really see it coming, or you chose to ignore the fact that you knew that it wasn't going to work out for you. Let's see what Neptune has to bring with us. You know, and if that is the case, okay, and I stand by what the cards are telling me, really there's somebody else coming for you. For some of you, you have already met that person. You just don't know that yet. You don't see that yet. And maybe what it takes is for you to go back to the past to, you know, have your world, somebody shit on y'all over again. For you to see that, you know what, bottom line, I don't have to, I don't want that anymore. I want something different. Wow, that's weird. Because what I'm picking up, I have the Lecherezza, I have the La Namica, and I have the Giovani Fanciulla. Now, this is kind of like waiting and trying to get in touch with your feelings. We're going to assume that these are two different women in one interpretation, okay? One that you may believe is your enemy, okay? So you look for somebody new. But also one who is truly your enemy, okay? And you're waiting for the new person to come in. So this is really, this card speaks to sensitivities. So this is someone who's, I feel the major theme of these three cards is that your feelings are starting to change around certain situations. Okay, that's the main thing. Why? Because you're trying to get to a place of spiritual harmony and spiritual love. And that can sometimes be difficult to obtain, but it's only because we allow our egos to come into play. Here's that Leo writing in. I already know what the hell's going on. You know, I know exactly what I want. And sometimes what we want is not what's best for us. But we're blinded to that and we don't see it. So this is really about taking another look from a different standpoint. I want to go ahead and take a quick look at what this Eight of Swords is trying to tell us here. Because this is the overall energy of the spread. And it just reads like, again, sort of like just kind of waiting. But you don't know why you're waiting or what you're waiting for. And the bottom line is, if you want to change, and look, the Tower says it is time. So for those of you who kind of don't want to step outside of your comfort zone, I do feel that something's going to be coming in that's going to really force you to make that change in whatever, even if this is, you know, stop beating yourself up over crap that's happened in the past. See? Dileranti. It's stupid to do that. And this even reads like you're a victim of your own desires. You know, maybe you feel that you're never going to attain this. You have the hope, and you feel, and you keep thinking to yourself, well, shit, I'm just going to give up. I'm never going to find what I'm looking for. Well, this honestly says to me that it is for some of you, the refusal to move outside of your comfort zone, because what you don't see is that you've already, it's already come, and what you hope for has already come. It's already there. And maybe this energy of the magician is that it's going to now remove the illusionary. See, remember the magician can create magic. Now, is it black magic? I don't think so. I think what it is that these are the energies being moved about to really clear the way for something new. It is something that you've manifested. It's something that you deeply desire. It comes from a place from deep within. And this energy of this transit of Jupiter in Libra is really here to help you get in touch with that. And it's going to require, however, that you come out of your comfort zone. For some of you, this may mean finding the courage to walk away from a relationship that has run out of road. And for others of you, this may mean taking a chance on someone that you probably never thought is that your type of person. Okay, they're coming in to activate that higher love, that spiritual love. Oh my God, I don't know. That's not the type of person that I'm used to. I'm attracted to, or I'm used to being around. Sometimes that eight of swords can kind of speak to a lack of self-confidence. You know, and it's always scary to take a step into the unknown. You know, it really is. Well, what's the Winston Churchill? The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And I say often, fear is an immobilizer. It can keep you stuck in situations where really you don't need to be anymore. Whether you are in a bad relationship or whether you are single and you really want to find somebody to join with. You know, but you're afraid to do so. You're afraid you're going to get hurt. You're afraid they're going to steal your money. You're afraid they're going to do this. You're afraid they're going to do that. Or you're afraid it's just not going to work out. Maybe we have differences and I just don't know how that's going to, I can't see us merging together. You know, I don't think it's going to work out. That's all fear and excuses. I'm surprised that the strength card didn't come out. Maybe it's not time to be bold. Maybe you need to sit and wait a little while longer. So let's go ahead and pull down 9 cards with the Casanova. This might tell the same story in a different way. It may talk about something completely different. I don't know. We shall see what Mr. Casanova, maybe he has some advice for us instead of being all contrary like he is sometimes. Now, 9 cards down. Here we go. The 3 of Cups. The 4 of Cups. The Temperance. Huh. What do you know? The Tower. The 5 of Swords. The 8 of Wands. Again, there's something happening. There's some movement. I think some of you may not see it. Some of you may be so wrapped up in other things. But if you concentrate, I think you may feel it. 3 of Swords. What do you know? The Strength card. and the 5 of coins. Casanova, Casanova. But look what's under the deck. It's the 6 of Cups. You know, this is a... I have 1, 2, 3 major arcana here. 1, 2 cups, 2 swords, a wands, and a 5 of coins. The overall energy is the 6 of cups. Someone who's very sad about the past, someone who feels that they have lost the one true love of their life. Someone who is reminiscing over this. Again, it's kind of telling the same story, this line, as it was telling before. Like, the 3 of Cups, it speaks to, you know, feeling as though you have found someone or found something that really makes you feel good. Let's put it that way. That's what the cups, we're going to use it. We're going to speak about the cups in terms of emotions here. You know, something occurring that really made you feel good. And it was the beginning of maybe feeling alive again. A sudden change. It brings about something sudden, okay? But then it leads into this feeling of isolation. And sometimes when I see the 3 of Swords with this tower, particularly in this deck, it speaks to really someone who's extremely isolated, emotionally isolated. Maybe they kind of live in an ivory tower, or they live in a place, because it kind of speaks to like both a physical prison and also an emotional prison. But they've had something that has come in that made them feel very, very good. Now, I cannot ignore the fact that it's 2 threes. And because this is in the past, and I have this card, I do feel that this person is kind of still stuck in the past on something. Remember, I was saying before, it's kind of like, you know, I don't think it's going to work. I don't know if this person is different. This person is, I don't know. We think differently. We communicate differently. We feel differently about things. The 3 of Cups, the 5 of Swords, and the 5 of Coins. This speaks to, you know, the emotions, the thoughts, and it also speaks to, like, for some reason, someone just decided to go ahead and maybe kind of dive in anyway. And maybe this was them trying to figure out a way to bring about a change in their life in some way, shape, or form. This speaks to traveling in the mind. And if this person is rather isolated emotionally, and maybe even in a physical sense, like maybe they not to say that they're like agoraphobic or anything like that, because this implies that there are friendships, there are things there, but it's not enough. You know, it's not enough. What I want is that person that I can lay back and relax with and talk to. Okay. um, and trying to, the temperance, trying to figure out how can I get that balance. Now, for me, the temperance represents Sagittarius, and Sagittarius it rules people at a distance, foreigners, um, philosophy, higher learning. It is an expansive, this is also Jupiter. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So I see for some of you that you have perhaps indeed even been looking far and wide for this individual, but feel as though you haven't been able to find what you're looking for, and it's kind of like been a waste of time and a waste of effort. But you got to remember that this guy, the reason why he can't see and he got one leg is because he did some shit that probably he wasn't supposed to. He put himself in the situation of battle and lost his vision and lost his leg, but he jumped into the fray. Um, this is, to me, reads like doing something that weren't planned, or you didn't foresee the outcome of. Maybe doing something hastily. Why? Because you couldn't hold back. That's what that card is. You couldn't hold back. And this reads the Three of Swords. This speaks to isolation and loneliness and decay. Like, things are just crumbling. They're turning into dust around me. But you know what? I'm just going to hold out anyway, because I really don't see anything on the horizon. But that's a 5. A 5. And that says that if you don't make the change, then of course nothing's going to come. Now, what's not bothersome, I keep getting the sense that this 3 of Cups with this 8 of Wands with this 3, it's like someone who's spending time. It says this speaks to traveling in the mind. So this could be someone who is dreaming more so about what they want in their lives, but then the swords say that they think they're never going to find. It's always going to be the same. I'm always going to be stuck in this lonely, sad, isolated place where things are turning to dust around me. This Sagittarius card, it not only speaks to, looking far and wide for that, but it also speaks to that there's someone who has a lot of Sagittarian qualities. Not that the person per se is a fire sign, but that they have a lot of Sagittarian qualities. In other words, it's going to be someone who will be perhaps of a different race or ethnic group, who has different spiritual beliefs than you, who may be well-traveled, who likes to travel, who has an expansive and open philosophy, who really has a lot to teach you, but is also willing to be taught as well. Someone who's going to be have a different educational background, have a different socioeconomic status. It's someone who's completely different and completely new. And again, it kind of reads like that's why you don't see this working out. And it shows, that's kind of what it shows here, that this energy is coming quite suddenly and quite unexpectedly. And in some regards, it has fallen through, but it's fallen through because it kind of reads like somebody, either they did something that they didn't quite foresee what the consequences were, or they're not willing to do the work. So they're going to sit on the sidelines and pretend like they are crippled and they are blind. Okay? So they're not willing to do anything. But it's a 5 nevertheless, and these are changes coming in. Now, in one respect, I could say, because I'm looking at this as 3 people, and I think this is a couple, hedonistic pleasures, we speak that. Somebody, this could be about an affair. And maybe what this is saying is that, some shit's fixing to come to light. There's some change. These are 2 5s. No matter how it plays out, it's definitely, in one respect, 3 people in a situation, whether the actual third person, if they're back to, okay, let me put it like this. So say me, okay, and I have broken up with someone, okay, and I'm getting these opportunities to meet new people, okay. Well, I'm kind of pushing that shit to the side. Why? Because I'm hoping that I'm going to get this opportunity for this third person, this other person, this previous person to come back in. But that person really has moved on, okay? But I'm going to wait anyway. Why? Because I can't forget what it was like in the past, okay? But while I've been waiting, something new comes in. You know, oh, okay, I'll try it out. I'll see what happens. And I think in one respect, this kind of reads like guilt, you know? So I decide I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. Why? I can't hold back. I'm just so, I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm curious. And, but it didn't quite turn out the way that I thought it did. Okay, maybe I was harboring some, you know, these two cards. The Tower with the Eight of Swords. The Tower with the Eight of Swords. I mean, I'm sorry, Eight of Wands in this. Now, I have two eights, I think. No, in this deck, the Strength card is the 11. Look, no matter how this plays out, there's a change here. And in one respect, it almost reads like this is a reconciliation of some sort. This is a sudden reconciliation of some sort, or a sudden recombination. But it has unforeseen consequences. I'm going to pull cards on that. It could be that you've been waiting for someone from your past to return and you ended up kind of missing the boat for somebody new. Let me read what this Three of Cups is saying here. That card's trying to tell me something. See, this card speaks to poverty, need, wounds, the mirror of the future which awaits us, prediction and warning. It says respect for eyes which saw. So they saw something, but now they no longer see. Why? Because they've gone so far ahead, okay, that things have stopped and they can't figure out why. Let me look at these three. These Three of Cups is trying to tell me something here. Yeah, there it is. A happy end, an innocent play, enjoyment, heedless of the consequences. Remember, I kept saying it. You couldn't hold back, but you didn't foresee the events of how that was going to play out. It's like a sudden meeting. Again, that things comes through. It could also be the return of somebody from your past. Same story. You can't resist. Let's pull cards. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just pull cards on this Five of Coins. Because the Six of Cups, not only is it about the nostalgia of someone from your past, it could also be heralding a soulmate. And I think the most important card is this 5. Fortunate event. Desperate jealousy. And the Amalato. It's reading in 2 ways. It's reading that in a sense that you, in the past, what you had was fortunate. And hanging on to that, having this extreme emotional attachment is blinding you and making you feel like crap to what is possible. You have a 6 of Cups over here, okay? But it can also speak to you or someone having already encountered something that's very positive, but you fear it so much because you don't see the value in it. And yet you're still stuck like this. That's a tough call, people. Let's pull one. That's a tough call. And it almost reads like whatever this, I keep picking up that there's something new, something on the horizon. These 2 cards really stand out the most to me. Really. I'm going to throw that down. I'm not going to show you that just yet. Because I think there's something else that they want to, the angel answer wants to put together with that card. So I'm not going to show you that yet. Remember I said it might be an opportunity for a reconciliation of some sort. You know, some of you will be finding out that the relationship has run out of road, that you're supposed to be going in a different direction now. And in a sense, it's kind of like saying going back to the past is not going to work out for you. But at the same time, the energy moving forward, you know, unexpectedly going places that you have not gone before. It's coming out. You know, I just noticed that. I don't know if you can see that. There's the tower in the background of this card. There's the tower. I just noticed that. Okay. Wow. So you can look at cards and look at cards for years sometimes and never see everything that's in them. Never. One more card. The first card that came out was to communicate clearly. The tower, sudden realizations, clearing the air, coming out of your comfort zone, speaking. It's just perfect timing. Perfect timing. I don't know what that means in terms of should it be now. I guess that's something you'll have to work out on your own. Is it not? All right, that's what I have for you today. Hope that message helped. And until next time, namaste.